Greetings, Eric Backer, naturopath from New Zealand, author of Candida Crusher, formulator of the CanXida range of supplements. I've got an interesting question here that was put to me through the YouTube channel. It's a lady called Alison Taylor, and she's from Kent in England. And Alison is saying, Eric, what do I do? I've had Candida for 3 years and it's not going away, and I've tried all the diets. I can't get rid of it. So Alison's question is particularly regarding a vaginal yeast infection, but she said other kinds of issues in her digestive system and many other issues. I'm not going to go into Alison's case here. There's a lot of personal stuff in here. It's quite a lengthy sort of email I got from her, but I promised her in a private message that I would respond to this by email. By YouTube video. So it's quite an interesting case, Alison's, and it's one I've heard many times before. I've got a person here, she's separated, she's got 2 grown-up children, sort of teenage grown-up children. She's working, she's got mortgage stress, she's had relationship breakdown issues, she's got problems at work, she's got a few different issues, that she's going through. In other words, she's got high stress. And this is a lovely lady, I can tell by the email. She's a very nice person. And 3 years, it's not going away. But have you noticed how Alison says, I've tried all the diets. I keep telling people it's not all about food, okay? There's a lot more at stake here. It's not just about what you put in your mouth that will determine a successful outcome with a yeast infection. I can't tell you how many people I see on Skype through my online clinic that have got many different types of issues in their life, many challenges that they face. And many people experience these stresses and they try and deal with them by exercising. We're going to go out and we're going to do lots of exercise. Or they go out and they go on these very special diets. They eat the best foods. They get personal trainers. They go all out and they still feel like crap. They go to the doctor. Doesn't work. They go to the naturopath. Doesn't work. And then they talk to me. And then they start saying, oh, well, I didn't think that my lifestyle was affecting me that much. I'm eating the best possible diet. I've got a really fit body. How come I'm not getting any better? And you can soon hear it by the voice, by the attitude, by the mannerisms. You can see why many people aren't getting better. Many of these people develop anxiety and stress as a result of feeling sick, which in turn is a stress in its own right, which is going to cause a lot of problems. Now, in Alison's case, we did end up having a consultation with Alison, and she told me I'm quite okay to talk about this case online. But as I mentioned, I'm not going to give a lot of details away, but I think Alison finally realized that she really has to make some significant changes when it comes to boundaries in her life with people. She's got to start saying no to some of the negative relationships that she's got. And in particular, she's got to be careful with her work environment because it's really eating her up. She hates her job. She hates her job. She doesn't like it, but she feels that she has to continue on with this job. Now, this patient's diet is pretty phenomenal. In fact, her diet's way better than my diet, but she's still not really recovering. Now, what we're doing now with Alison is we're doing a salivary cortisol DHEA test, and we're doing a stool test. We're going to have a look at what stress is actually causing to her body. We're going to determine what her cortisol levels are like to see if she's getting immune suppression or if she's got a very deficient immune system. We're going to be doing a stool test to see exactly where her gut is and how it's been affected by the changes in the cortisol level. And this will be able to give me a really good understanding of how Alison's responding, in a physiological sense to her lifestyle and diet. So just remember, folks, it's not all about what you eat. I'm sick to the back teeth of all these videos I've seen from all these people in beautiful suits, and you need to eat this kind of food and that kind of food, but they don't really go into the psyche of the person, how that person feels about their life. These are the very important things here that need to be addressed. And remember, I've said this time and again, if you're not responding to treatment, you need to change what you're doing. Not just change, eating brown rice, going to white rice, or going to this rice. I couldn't give a damn about what kind of rice you eat half the time. I'm much more interested in how you relate to your boss or your husband or your wife, how you relate to the teenagers or the young children, how this is affecting you. I'm looking at the parameters like energy, sex drive, sleep, anxiety, depression, These things speak volumes about the person, a lot more than about how many times they fart a day. I'm much more interested to see how many times they lose their rag a day. And in Alison's case, it's pretty obvious that there's a lot of anxiety here. There's sleeping disorders here. There's a very dissatisfied person. Of course this woman's not going to respond to the diet. What the hell's a diet got to do with it when she hates her boss, She needs to make some significant change. Okay? With significant change comes significant change. Small change, small outcome. Big change, big outcome. That's how I want you to think. All right? Life's too short to live a crappy, unfulfilled life. The ball's in your court. You decide which way you want to go with your health. But I can tell you now, if you think that eating a perfect diet and having a perfectly toned body is going to make you fit and healthy, well, then you're barking up the wrong tree. All right? I just want you to think that. These are important considerations to make here. So there you have it, Alison. I've spelt it out. And I hope it's not going to be too offensive for you. But you told me to talk about it. But there's a lot of things I haven't told people about, okay? Things that I will keep confidential. So I want you to really make these changes. And one of the things we agreed on during the consultation is that you were going to start looking for another job. Because I really think this deep unhappiness that you've got with your work is resulting in some tension with your children. And that's one of the first things I'd like you to resolve. When people become very happy with their lifestyle, they become happy with their relationships, and they've overcome, personal difficulties and problems, it often means it's the beginning of the body to start healing and recovering on quite a deep level. I'll leave it at that. If you haven't got my report already, folks, please click on the link in the description box and you can get my free report. And also don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for tuning in.